The Mojave is known for its unrelenting sun that beats down on troopers, frying their brains in their helmets until they can only repeat the phrase,
"Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter."
So what better environment is there for a creature that shrivels up and dies in the sun? No, not that one. I'm talking about the more refined cousin of the blood bug, the vampire, which are canon thanks to Fallout 3. And since Fallout 3, 4, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim have all been beaten as vampires, I'd like to finish off that saga by seeing what would happen if a member of Vance's flock somehow made it to the Mojave. Can you beat Fallout New Vegas as a vampire? Several mods can offer such an experience, but I'm not going to bother with those, as I'd like to see what I can do with my own imagination. So, what are the rules? I can only damage enemies with Bloodnap, the unique Bowie knife from Lonesome Road, because 1, it's got blood in the name, and 2, Dracula was killed with a Bowie knife in the original Bram Stoker novel. Since you can't get it until near the end of that DLC, which is supposed to be done at level 25, and I'd have no way to attack till then, I'm just gonna add it with the console. To balance this out, the only apparel I can wear is Vera's outfit from the Dead Money DLC, as I feel it's the most fitting for a bloodsucker of refinement. Again, I'll have to add it with the console, but it provides virtually no armor. I can only heal with blood packs, sleeping, the cannibal perk, the dine and dash perk, human flesh, strange meat, and strange meat pies. Just imagine cannibalism as sucking the blood out of people. I'm not allowed to be outside from 6 AM to 6 PM, which is what New Vegas generally considers daytime. If this happens, I treat it like a death and have to reload my last save. I must take the Night Person and Friend of the Night perks as soon as they become available. Conversely, I'm not allowed to take the Life Giver perk, as it has Jesus as the icon, or the Solar Powered perk for obvious reasons. Finally, I must play on very hard difficulty at all times, and I'm not allowed to use companions. Kind of a more complicated rule set this time around, I know. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Our journey begins with Benny the Vampire Slayer trying to put me down with Maria, a holy weapon, which by all means should have worked. However, he forgot to load silver bullets, so I heal by taking a comfortable dirt nap. Oh, and this human doctor may have had something to do with it. For my name, I go with Alucard, Eovascular. I then make myself pale, gaunt, and sly, but with an air of ghastly refinement around me, and go to pick my special stat. Ow, come on, close the blinds. Do you know how much that hurts? Ahem. I pick my special stats, 6 strength since vampires have supernatural strength, 6 perception since vampires have supernatural perception, 5 endurance because while vampires are quite tough, they have so many different weaknesses it averages out, 1 charisma because, okay, to avoid a repeat of the JFK incident, I know vampires are known for being cunning and manipulative, but 1, it's boring to rely on speech every time, 2, charisma is a dump stat in New Vegas, and 3, let's just imagine I'm playing as less of a charming vampire and more of a feral, bloodthirsty one. Got it? Good. 7 agility since vampires are sneaky and move around extremely quickly, and 10 luck for critical hits. No lore explanation for that last one. As for my tag skills, I go with melee weapons, sneak, and survival. The first 2 are obvious, but survival was chosen for a certain perk later on, and because it boosts the healing of human remains. For traits, I go with Logan's Loophole and Skilled. Logan's Loophole makes me stay young forever, which is fitting for an immortal being, and it boosts the duration of most consumables, most notably Stealth Boys. Skilled makes sense, as vampires are supposed to be experienced with age. Now I'm finally free to spread my reign of terror across the Mojave. Yeah, there may be a slight problem here in that you start the game during the day, and you're not allowed to wait until after you leave the doc's house. I first tried using SGTM to speed up the game and wait until the day passes naturally. I could accomplish the same thing by leaving the game idle for a while, this just speeds up the process. However, it seems that time doesn't flow here. I then use Enable Player Controls to wait until 9 PM, and that does the trick. Technically cheating, but it would be pretty lame if I ended the video in the first few minutes. If you feel like this constitutes as a failure of the challenge, feel free to leave a dislike. With that out of the way, I add Bloodnap and Vera's outfit to myself using the console. Vera's outfit provides very little armor, but it boosts my speech, barter, and charisma. Might help somewhat when buying or selling. Bloodnap is essentially a better version of Chance's knife with superior damage, critical damage, and durability, but worse attack speed and critical chance. It does boost your sneak by 10 while equipped, however. Now that I look absolutely dashing, I repay Doc Mitchell removing the bullet from my brain by adding a knife to his spine, so I can steal everything he has of value without repercussions. Ooh, a blood pack. Good, I was getting thirsty. Wait, it only heals 1 HP? Huh, must be expired. Besides wringing Chet dry of all his hard-earned caps, I have no use for the quaint town of Goodsprings, so I...
Why won't you die?
Gotta say, that was pretty impressive. My murder spree continues with Sunny smiles, and although she's perceptive enough to notice me sneaking up on her with a blood-soaked knife, she's not smart enough to read into it. Joe Cobb helps distract Trudy while I cut her down to size as well, and I decide to help him take over the town. Yeah, the people here do taste pretty damn good.
You go settle things with Ringo and put a bullet between his eyes.
I prefer knife between his kidneys, but I get the idea. I then head back to my grave to take a well-deserved nap after all that hard work. Me. Oh yeah, and to get to the snow globe. Ringo doesn't even get a chance to say,
"That's close enough."
Before I get too close for comfort, I methodically assassinate the remaining citizens of Goodsprings, steal some things like Victor's repair kit and Easy Pete's buff out, and now, according to Joe Cobb,
We got a militia to take down.
now that my job is done, the powder gangers have outlived their usefulness to me.
Damn. Running low on smoke.
I round out some skills, getting lockpick to 25, and pick what else, Friend of the Night, as my perk. That way, I don't have to mess with the brightness for you to be able to see this video. Seriously though, I always thought this perk should have some other benefit, like sneaking faster at night or something. When it comes to taking out the remaining powder gangers, my 10 luck pays off. The reason I did this is so I can take the stealth boy off Cobb, then use my 25 lockpick to grab another from the schoolhouse. On the way to Primm, a gecko blows itself up in front of some powder gangers who don't seem to care in the slightest. That is, until a different gecko attacks them, and now they decide to put the other one out of its misery.
Hey, where the hell do you think you're going? Primm is off limits.
Yeah, nobody tells me what to do. I sneak up on the first convict for an easy kill, but that doesn't work on the others. However, they have little in the way of good armor or weapons, so they aren't that hard regardless.
I don't know what it was brought you to Primm, youngster.
Youngster? I'm 300 years old. Ugh, stupid mortals. Well, after a quick nap to top up my health, I bust into the Bison Steve and, yet again, start swinging without much of a strategy. I get roughed up, sure, but being close prevents them from using their incinerator or dynamite as effectively, and I can just sleep off my wounds, so it works out in the end. As soon as Deputy Beagle gives me the info I want, he's no longer of use to me, so I dispose of him, followed by the rest of Primm. This slaughter levels me up, where I reach the melee skill requirement of Blood Nap, get 25 science, and put the rest of my points into Sneak and Survival. After a very uneventful walk to the Mojave Outpost so I can sell my unwanted things to Lacey, I head down to Nipton past a bunch of jackals. I usually just skip them or fight them outright, but I notice that they're all grouped up ready to ambush travelers, so I get the genius idea to ambush them with sneak attacks in one clean round of VATS. My first attempt doesn't go great, but I eventually get the hang of it.
No!
You like that? Thank you.
Killing them all is enough to get me to level 4, where I get survival to 45, put the rest of my points in sneak, and finally get the cannibal perk. Good, I was getting thirsty. Now I can reveal why I massacred Primm and Goodsprings. By slurping the blood out of all the bodies strewn about, and I do mean all of them, eventually Doc Mitchell helps me out in death as he did in life by giving me the Dine and Dash perk, which allows me to take human remains in a doggy bag for later. Just imagine I'm sucking the blood out of them like a Capri Sun instead of eating them. Alright, now let's get back on track. Somehow, Thomas and Jacqueline both die at the exact same time, so I get 2 meals for the price of 1. And Oliver Swanwick, despite the name, definitely does not taste like olives. At least the Legion had the courtesy to leave some meat out to dry for me.
One more to feed the worms.
Since they were so thoughtful towards my dietary needs, I repay them by spreading word of their atrocities. But when I come back to Nipton to go to Novak, a Jackal gang leader shows up in the middle of town and then runs away. I don't honestly blame him. If someone had assassinated and eaten my entire crew, I'd run from them too. On the way to Novak, I help my Legion buddies take down a traveling caravan, and then the Legion gets massacred by Sneck Doggos. I've never had the Night Stalkers from Walking Box Cavern come this far, but all it takes is a bit of backpedaling to take care of them, so it's just a free level up and a bunch of free snacks for me in the end. Before I can make it to Novak, however, I detect a fellow vampire in Sloan, so I go there to check it out.
Let me ask you a question. What's the tastiest thing you've ever eaten? Oh, Well, no accounting for taste, I guess.
Oh no, don't play coy with me. Let's see what you're hiding back here. Ah, strange meat pies. I think we all know what that strange meat is. Don't worry, Jas, your secret is safe with me. As I'm going to need more stealth boys later, I go straight to Repcon, where the ghouls are easy to sneak up on due to their eyes rotting in their skulls, is what I would say if the glowing one didn't act as a living spotlight. I have to use some actual strategy for once. Pick one off, hide until they lose interest, stay still and wait for them to turn around, etc. But once the glowing one is down, the others are so squishy that I don't have to bother. I get lucky and find 2 stealth boys and then I kin corpses outside, as well as energy weapons and ammo to sell, chems, and other good loot. As soon as I enter, I find another stealth boy on the first Nightkin body and pick up the one placed next to him. It's like the RNG knows I'm doing a stealth playthrough. When it comes to the living Nightkin, I sided with them because 1, we're both stealthy creatures of the night, and 2, I don't fancy my chances against them if I get discovered. I kill Harland, who, to his credit, almost managed to stake me in the heart with 308, find the shipping manifest, and convince them to leave peacefully.
Bless you, Wanderer.
Ow! Hey, don't you know blessings hurt vampires? Inconsiderate dick. Well, getting the fuel is as easy as ever, and I have plenty of caps for the control modules, so I'm more than happy to send these religious glow sticks as far away from me as possible. Doing so levels me up, where I put points into survival, sneak, and repair, and get the travel light perk, the reason I tag survival. Being able to move a bit faster never hurts, and it fits with the idea of vampires having supernatural speed. Doing this quest also lets me find out where to go next from Manny, which is Boulder City, a pile of rubble caught in a standoff between the NCR and Great Khans. Perfect, a 2-course meal.
You're supposed to be dead. All right, quit fucking around. I've got...
Oh, wait, what do you mean, accepted? I killed all of them. How could they possibly... Whatever, let's just finish off Private Kowalski over here and...
Fancy meeting you here, friend.
Gah! Don't scare me like that. I leave Boulder City on a poetic note. Private Kowalski defacing the memorial with his own blood and death. I guess he has to chase himself eternally in the afterlife now. Oh yeah, and I also take a quick stop at Hoover Dam for a snow globe. Nothing much happens on the way to Freeside except me leveling up to get the Super Slam perk and selling a few things to the gun runners. Julie has another snow globe up for grabs. I pass the credit check and then get revenge on Benny the Vampire Slayer the old-fashioned way, as Bloodnap counts as an improved holdout weapon. I do have to burn a stealth boy, but it was well worth it to make Benny's head roll across the floor as I eat off his picnic blanket-ass suit. Let's see what you got on you. Ugh, a holy item. Okay, yeah, just move that away, that's better. After getting another snow globe from Sarah, I meet with Mr. House, a figurative capitalist bloodsucker in a nice suit who's been around for hundreds of years. Looks like I have some competition to eliminate. But for now, I get him to trust me so he won't suspect a thing by upgrading his little tin soldiers. This levels me up, where I get sneak to 80 and melee to 70. I find his missing snow globe and then trade them all in to the tune of 10,000 caps. Then I pop a stealth boy, break into the soon-to-be coffin he's sleeping in, cut his jerky-looking ass into tiny strips, and have myself a little sip of his blood. Oh god, it's just pure dust. Now to reveal why I collected all those snow globes in the first place. Because the only thing cooler than a vampire is a cyborg vampire. That's right, I use my riches to get the strength, endurance, intelligence, and agility implants. To afford subdermal armor, I just have to use a stealth boy to steal all the Van Graff's stuff and sell it to every vendor in a 50-mile radius. My next task is to go to Cottonwood Cove, as I'm gonna be siding with the Legion this run. We're both brutal and evil and like melee weapons, and the Legion really doesn't care about ghouls or super mutants, so there's no reason for them to reject a vampire. You could argue Mr. House or Yes Man might make more sense, but it's boring doing the same route every playthrough. Before I reached the cove, I figured I might as well test out my new toys, and for that, I turned the ambushers at the raided farmstead into the ambushees.
That tower on the strip, the one you can see from here. I hear it ain't... Watch out! I'm hit!
The carnage doesn't stop there, as while I was initially going to ignore the soldiers at Camp Searchlight, I saw some Legion fighting them and decided, hey, when in Rome. Once I reach the cove, I steal Phoenix's sexy sleepwear to repair my suit with, and then jingle some dog tags in his face for some easy fame. Before speaking to the mighty Kaisar, I want to impress him, so I do something I usually forget about in most playthroughs, the arena. But Causal Loop, how will you fight in the arena if you're only allowed to use certain equipment? Oh, you know how. Yep, by just throwing your equipment of choice into the arena beforehand, you can pick it up, ditch the assigned stuff, and none of the Legion seems to care about the rules one bit. As you'd expect, it makes the whole thing a breeze.
Careful in there. He's tougher than he looks. A good fight. I have a dangerous one for you. She's killed every man who's faced her in the arena, even one of the elite Kenturians, with her bare hands. Unbelievable. You stood against a ranger in single combat and survived.
Let's see what Kaisar has to say about me now.
In Boulder City, you let the renegade cons go free.
Recap?
I've got...
Yeah, I let them go free from this mortal coil. He wants me to blow up a bunker just to spite Mr. House post-mortem, but since the robots are so perceptive, I have to use a stealth boy for this part. Amusingly enough, the turret's explosions after I kill them are more harmful to me than their actual weapons. I just have to make sure I'm healed when I destroy the generators, lest I blow myself up in the process. While I could just sneak or run away from the sentry bots, I wanted to take out a few of them just to prove I can. As you can see, the Super Slam perk is quite the godsend against enemies with a lot of DT. My next task is to deal with the boomers, but since I don't want this to just be a straight run-through of the main quest, I start the side quest The Finger of Suspicion, which involves protecting an informant from Omerta thugs. They go down quite easily, and she reveals the one she was giving intel to, Captain Curtis. So now I know who to help derail the NCR.
I'm about to bomb this whole motherfucking train.
To be honest, I've never done this quest on the Legion's side before, so this is all new to me. First, I have to get the Colonel's trust. Then I have to wait for the soldiers guarding the door to change shifts. Of course, then I have to wait till it's dark so I can go outside and blow up the train. I was worried the NCR would turn hostile when I went back in, as I wasn't supposed to go near the guards, but it all worked out fine. Next is stashing bomb components and incriminating documents in Crenshaw's locker. Easy enough. Lastly, it's just a matter of killing Crenshaw without being spotted. Again, that's my whole thing. The Colonel is none the wiser, and now NPCs can stop saying, "Our guys put the monorail back to work" ad nauseum. Now to deal with the boomers, but on the way, I get hungry and decide these random chem addicts will make for a nice snack. But as I kill one, the second gets the idea to use his buddy's corpse as a human shield. Doesn't save him for long, but I gotta give him props for creativity. Once you learn the trick, the boomers really aren't that bad. Just hide in the corner of this building, back away when the car is about to blow up, and wait for them to exhaust their artillery. Never mind, I guess they had one more blast in them. As I don't appreciate them trying to shell my ass into a fine smear, I stealthily paint their base with Pearl's and Loyal's blood and report my success to Kaisar. After he has a bit of a head ouchie, he sends me to ally the White Glove Society with the Legion. Being a vampire, I'm more than happy to work with a bunch of well-dressed high society cannibals.
Good. And you know what it is to be discreet in matters of nutrition.
I use a mix of Mentats, alcohol, and a Meeting People magazine to convince Ted that this was just a huge misunderstanding, and I can use my strength to knock out the main course, St. Clair, with a headlock. I'm sure Mortimer won't mind if I do a little taste test, right? Oh crap. Wait, I want to test something. Huh, apparently Mortimer doesn't need the body that fresh. Enjoy eating head cheese, I guess. With the White Gloves returned to being two-eyed, no-horn, dining pretentious people eaters, they join the Legion's forces with their suits and canes, a real valuable addition to our ranks, I'm sure, and Kaisar has another head ouchie as he tells me to take out the Brotherhood. While the Brotherhood are reclusive basement dwellers like me, considering how they treat ghouls and mutants, they probably wouldn't tolerate my existence, so I have no issues with this. Before tackling them, I go back to RepCon for 3 guaranteed stealth boys that I never knew existed until now. 2 can be found in an easy lock safe on the first floor, and 1 can be found in the basement on the Nightkin's dinner table. I also head to the Tumbleweed Ranch and kill the Nightkin there for another stealth boy. I'm gonna need them to sneak past the Brotherhood, as there's no way in hell I can take them all on without piercing strike. Again, I could go do that and wrap up the main quest right now, but I'd like to test how sneaky I am in a real infiltration mission, so I go to Nelson, mop up the NCR present, and report to Dead Sea, who challenges me to wipe out Camp Forlorn Hope all by myself. Alright, bet. Unlike most humanoid foes, NCR veteran rangers don't always die from a single sneak attack, so I have to finish them off quickly with Super Slam to avoid being filled with holes. Luckily, none of the other troopers notice the gunfire or screaming, so I get back to skulking about. In cramped, well-lit interiors where you pop in right next to someone, sneaking doesn't work that well. Slashing like a madman and hoping for the best does, however, and I just heal up my wounds with a quick drink. NCR heavy troopers are also cause for concern, as their shotguns are no joke, and my knife can't penetrate their DT very well. It doesn't help when they get glitched into the ceiling either. Super Slam comes to the rescue once again, but I still nearly die. Good thing I've been saving so many snacks. A bit more miscellaneous murder.
Watch out! Ah! What have you done? Ah! No! Ah! I'm hit! Help! Ah!
And the camp is wiped out to the last man, earning me a rusty lawnmower blade tied to a stick.
That blade has split the heads of... The only reason I give it to you is to force myself to earn another. True to Kaisar.
Unfortunately for Sloan, they are NCR aligned in the closest fast travel marker to Hidden Valley, so they gotta go. I kill everyone in the town except for Jas, and I don't eat any of them either. This is so Jas has plenty of fresh meat to fund her new cannibal empire, now that she's in charge of the town. I don't even try fighting the Brotherhood head on. Instead, I pop a stealth boy and pickpocket the bunker key to slip inside. Despite going into caution a few times, none of them are the wiser as I swipe the 3 key cards set to place the blow and escape without a scratch. Now to cure Kaisar's head ouchies, but since I forgot you need to pass a medicine or speech check to operate on him, I can't just use my 10 luck to do so. Instead, I have to use another stealth boy to get past some geckos and ghouls and grab an autodock module from Vault 34. Of course, it wears off on the way out, so I have to take refuge wherever I can, which just so happens to be Cannibal Johnson's cave.
Ha! I'm not saying. It's part of my mystique, after all. Nope. You'll just have to keep on wondering.
Mole rat wonder meat? Yeah, I can guess what's so wonderful about it. Hey, I know a girl called Jazz Wilkins who would be perfect for you. Getting Kaisar's head back in the game levels me up, where I almost max out melee weapons. This would be the part where I assassinate Kimball, but there's a problem. When talking to Kato, he automatically passes the time to 6 AM. Doesn't matter when you speak to him, he always exposes you to the sunlight. And President Kimball doesn't arrive until you speak to him, so I just have to do this. Hey, to be fair, I was getting thirsty. Now for the final battle for Hoover Dam, and thankfully neither going there nor exiting the Legate's tent sets the time to morning, so I can do the entire thing under the cover of the moon.
The NCR will find our teeth at their throats in a dozen places.
I'm gonna take that instruction very literally. I don't even need a stealth boy for the first part, as the soldiers are so distracted fighting the Legion, not one of them notices me stabbing them in the back.
Had enough!
They killed him!
I level up one last time here to max out melee weapons and get the light step perk, which will come in very handy very soon. The Rangers are a bit too perceptive to sneak past normally, so I have to use a stealth boy for them. Same goes for the heavy troopers, and while the first one devolves into a super slam slugfest, I can score 2 sneak attacks on the other 2 and take advantage of the fact they won't fire AoE weapons in close proximity. Nothing much to say on the way to Oliver's compound, I just let the Legion and NCR duke it out while shanking the occasional trooper. It seems the ones inside the compound are especially blind, as despite General Oliver talking to me and me bumping into the soldiers on several occasions, they don't pay me any mind. Light Step proves its worth as it lets me ignore all the traps the veterans carefully set for me, and while one nails me with a 50 cal that wipes out almost all my health, I'm able to make paper dolls out of them before he can fight back further. I blow the rest of my human remains to heal and then take a cocktail of all the chems in my inventory before facing the General himself, and... well, that was slightly underwhelming.
Murderer! Over here!
I toast over his succulent flesh with a blood pack, finish off the last veteran who's been busy prancing around with his revolver, and report back to the Legate, finishing the game and proving that yes, you can beat Fallout New Vegas as a vampire.
No act is more sacred than consecrating a site in the blood of one's enemies.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching yet another video. I appreciate any support you can give me so I can make similar content for you in the future. If you liked the video, leave a like or subscribe. It only takes a second, but it helps me grow a ton. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike and give constructive criticism so I can improve. Also, leave your ideas for new videos in the comments. I read all the comments that come my way and put your ideas at the end of each video. Who knows, your idea might even become an official video. If you really want to support me, go to my Patreon or become a channel member, which will get you shouted out, guarantee an opportunity to chat with me, and make your ideas much more likely to become reality. Plus, it's only 17 cents a day. Even just 20 subscribers to my Patreon would mean a lot to me, and help me put out even better content. Check me out on Reddit or Discord using the links in the description if you want to chat, or check out my second channel, The Loophole, for some extra content. This is Causal Loop, signing off. Peace.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!